This video provides information on project bank accounts to help with preparing a tender response for a building management and works construction project. The Department of Finance, Building Management and Works, or BMW, uses project bank accounts for most construction contracts valued over $1.5 million. BMW recommends first watching the Overview of Project Bank Accounts video on the department's website. The process for lodging a tender with project bank accounts is the same as normal. All the requirements are clearly explained in the tender documents. Head contractors should inform potential subcontractors that a project bank account will be used, so they too can take this into account when quoting. The $1.5 million threshold for project bank accounts is based on the tender price and ultimately the contract award value. In other words, a tender valued above $1.5 million triggers the use of a project bank account, and the associated costs for such tenders will need to be included in the tender price. It's important, therefore, that head contractors fully understand the work required to administer a project bank account. Contracts that use a project bank account include amendments to the conditions of contract. These amendments are in the Project Bank Account Information Pack on the department's website. This pack also contains some other documents: the Trust Deed Poll, the Project Bank Account Agreement, the Deed of Release, and the Priority Deed. Let's look at these in a bit more detail. The Trust Deed Poll establishes the trust for the project bank account and describes how it will operate. The trust deed will need to be signed by the head contractor and BMW. The Project Bank Account Agreement describes the duties of the bank. It says how funds will flow into and out of the project bank account. The agreement will need to be signed by the head contractor, the bank, and BMW. The Deed of Release and the Priority Deed protect the retention funds held in the project bank account from an insolvency event. Each financier or bank that holds a security interest in the head contractor, known as creditors, will need to sign either a deed of release or a priority deed. If the head contractor has no creditors holding security interests, neither of these documents will be necessary. BMW recommends tenderers see their bank or other financiers about these documents to work out which one they will provide. It's important that head contractors familiarise themselves with the most recent version of the Project Bank Account Information Pack on the department's website before submitting tenders. That concludes this video on project bank accounts and pre-tender considerations. Further information is available on the department's website, including videos, guidance materials, and fact sheets.